Hey there guys, McTeabagger here coming at you with this first story time on his channel, so hope you enjoy. Alrighty guys, so this one's about the first time I ever got wrecked on a skateboard. It happened when I was about 13, maybe 14. We can go with 13 just to be on the youthful side of things. Alright, and I had this friend at my private school. For the sake of the story, we'll call him Jimothy. And Jimothy was a cool guy, a rad dude if you would. But the thing is, I only really hanged out with people at school because I was a little bit of a shut-in at the time that just played games all day, living the life. So one day, Jimothy here invites me over to his church for a little after party, like a little harvest night church party thing. I don't know, whatever churches do around that time. And they had a nice little service with a skit and all that stuff. Yeah, that's not what the story is about right now. But after that was all said and done, they started blasting music outside, like not the church music, like the rap music that people like to get down to. I guess I don't know. I wasn't really into rap at the time, so I didn't really know what it was. But they started having little dance battles and stuff. It was pretty cool. I don't know. Anyway, at the slow after party thing, I discovered something new about my friend. It turns out that Jimothy was a little skater boy. Like that song, Skater Boy. She said, "See you later, boy." No, I'm just fucking with that, guys. But yeah, Jimothy, he was a little skater dude, and he was a little badass man. And well, I guess he wasn't like badass because he really only did like ollies and 180s, little tricks like that, bonelesses, beginner stuff. But I couldn't skate at the time, so that shit was pretty badass for me. And, so I was like, hey man, show me how to skate. That's pretty sick. And, wouldn't you know it, my dude had another board, came with his backup board. Now for those of you who aren't in the skateboard world, typically you got your main skateboard you use on the daily, and then you got the board you've had for a while, but you don't get rid of just in case you need it. That little backup board. But the thing about Jimothy's backup board here is that it was worn the mother cheese and tea. Like, this hoe had no concave at all. It was flat as a board. Carpenter's dream, you know what I'm saying? But who was I to complain? I didn't know crap and couldn't do a trick anyway. So Jimothy hands me this piece of crap birdhouse board, and I put it on the ground and stand on it, and like, wouldn't you know, like I can actually stand on a freaking piece of wood without falling off. But hey, that was pretty badass, man. I felt pretty good about myself. It was a good moment. I feel like a lot of people kind of have like trouble with that at the start. I don't know if y'all can hear that. That's my dog, Leia, freaking just jumping down, trying to bring me a toy right now. But anyway, so I tried pushing around the board, and dude, like I freaking sucked at this shit. Every time I tried, I fell off. I looked like Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal, except every time I leaned over, I busted my ass. McT was not okay. Alright, so we ride around a bit and we come to the stair set that has like a 2 foot ledge where the handrails are. I don't know really how to explain it, but you know how some stairs like, have that little part with the ledge? Well, yeah, anyway, it was big enough for him to get his board up there, and he just did a little trick off of it. I mean, I guess he didn't really do a trick off of it, he kind of just rode off of it, but to me it was pretty badass. So, I was pretty amazed at the time. And at this point, I'm starting to think, I like this skateboarding stuff. So I asked Jimothy if I can borrow his board for a bit and try to learn how to skate. And, he was cool with it because, like I said, Jimothy was a rad dude. He was going to let me borrow the backup board for a week and then see how I did next weekend. But, also, Jimothy had this friend there that was hanging out with us. I didn't mention him because, well, he was a bit of a dick and he's not really relevant to this part of the story. So, anyway, this kid was annoying as fuck. I'm saying, riding Jimothy's dick as if he was like jealous girlfriend, just because he was hanging out with someone else. But anyway, not only dude, but I swear to God, this guy looked like a freaking fish. Like, I ain't the greatest looking, but at least I don't look like I belong in the movie Shark Tale. You know what I'm saying? So, this guy, we'll call him Oscar from now on, alright? So, Now we got Oscar the Fish over here also asking if he can borrow Jimothy's board, but he wasn't just asking. Oh no, ladies and gents, he was being a little bitch about it, if you catch my drift. You know? Whining, but he doesn't skate. He my board snapped. Like, dude, I'm sorry I asked first and want to learn, but anyway, Jimothy wasn't having any of it and tells Oscar he can go swim away. Oscar leaves to hang out with Frankie the shark, probably. I don't know. Or care at this point, because I was hyped to borrow the board. Alright, anyway, so fast forward through a week of me trying to learn how to ollie and mastering how to turn, and we finally have the next weekend. So Jimothy comes over, we chill, play games for a bit, you know, Modern Warfare 2 golden days where everyone talked endless shit to each other. True beauty, man. True fucking beauty. Anyway, after we're done with a bit of that, Jimothy says we should go skate for a bit. Of course, you know, I'm down. I want to show him what I can do. So I get ready and I'm hyped. I'm gonna show this guy how much better I got. I put the board on the ground, hop on that hoe, push, boom. Could ride smooth. But the sloppy thing was the way I pushed at the time. Mongo. Yeah. You know, for those of you that don't know, Mongo is like a little air quotes. You can't see, but I'm doing air quotes right now. It's a poser thing to do, but I mean, not really. It's just what people say. It's some bullshit. It's some superficial, like bullshit in the skater world. It doesn't really matter, honestly. Push however you want, man. As long as you're having fun, just don't let anyone say shit. But yeah, well, but anyway, I pushed that way at the time instead of pushing with my back foot, which is the way most people say you should push, because it's better for foot positioning and stuff, and also it helps you with something you'll find out about in a minute. So I show him how good I got at riding now, and then try busting out an ollie. And for anyone who's ever tried this, you know your first few ollies are just you jumping in there like a fool while your board stays in place, wondering why you suck at life. So that's pretty much how it goes off. But it's alright. I was just starting off, so you know, of course I'm gonna fucking suck. But so me and Jimothy ride around for a bit, and he notices something sweet about my neighborhood. Alright, it's all hills, like literally, it's all streets that just come down into this one street, and they're all downhill. And then when they come down into this one street, that street also goes down into a cul-de-sac, which is where I live. And you know, it's just all hills. It's nice, and they're all a variety of like, you know, steepness and shit. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So Jimothy says we should start bombing these hills, which is something I didn't think of throughout like that whole week I was trying to skate, because like, I don't know, I guess I was just too scared to do that shit. But yeah, anyway, so we start with the smallest hill, and it goes real smooth and shit. We start picking up speed. It's a little bit of speed, but yeah, I felt pretty badass after doing that. So we went over to the next one. It was a little steeper. The one on my street goes a little steeper, and we went all the way to the tip of top of that shit. And then we started to go down. Now this time we're really picking up speed, but everything still goes well. I thought I was a little badass, so I told Jimothy about this one hill, one street over, that was a little more steep than the one we just did. Of course, he's down for it, so we walk back up the hill to get to the next street over it's connected to. Oh, sorry. Alright. That was my bad. Alright, so this street was way steeper, like nearly San Francisco streets, where you see them in movies where cars roll down the hill and shit, and they get given to Aquaman without a lease. But at this point I'm feeling like a badass, alright? So I just bombed 2 hills and I made them my bitches. I was about to do the same to this one, alright? So we start off, right? And at first me and Jimothy are side by side. We're picking up speed. I'm feeling the wind push me back a bit as I force more weight down on my board and pick up speed, alright? I'm trying to go as fast as I can because I felt fucking badass after those last 2 ones, alright? Then all of a sudden, I notice Jimothy isn't beside me anymore. Nah, alright? I turn around and see this guy, like, doing this little thing that people do on skateboards, like, where they lift their nose and they drag their tail on the fucking floor so they could slow down a bit. I just thought in my head, like, what is he doing, man? Why doesn't he want to enjoy the speed with me? And in the same moment, I think that I turn back around and it happens, man. Time just slows down for a bit, and I feel the board start to wobble beneath my feet. I feel my feet just like turn to jelly, like they just start vibrating like crazy. My whole body is just like shaking, and then all of a sudden, the board goes freaking flying, and I just go tumbling. Like, I go tumbling hard, and I don't mean just like a little roll or like two and I'm done. No, I went flying like a main character in an anime that hasn't had a good fight in a long time. Then suddenly a new villain comes out and knocks the shit out of him, making him go flying like and gets up and he's like, oh, ha, ha, finally a worthy opponent. Yeah, it was like that, except instead of being like, oh, finally a worthy opponent, I was more like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, where he was like, oh, my back, my back. Man, dude, I must have been there like for like 2 minutes, but it felt like forever. And Jimothy just skates up to me while the life is fading from me, and all this guy can muster up is laughter and, why didn't you slow down? This dude, like, after I just got yeeted into next week, that's his question. So he told me about the speed wall bullshit and what you should do when it happens. Obviously, what you did was one of them, and another one apparently is like slowing yourself down with your back foot. But that's only useful if you know how to ride pushing a normal way and not Mongo. So yeah, it was shit out of luck, and not that I knew anyway. But yeah, Jimothy could have told me about that before we started bumming the hill. From Jimothy's point of view, he said it looked like my arm flew out and got twisted up. We were both actually surprised I made it out with like no broken bones, but I can't say much for my ego. I had to slow down skating for a little bit after that, but then I started picking it up again, and yeah, I started skating again recently too. It's been on and off for a while, but yeah. After that, we skated back to my house, or well, I mean, Jimothy skated back to my house. I limped like a fucking dying horse, and yeah, we just got back to shit talking on Modern Warfare 2. Enjoying the golden days. We never knew that we're gonna soon be gone, man. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you're still listening, thanks, and I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to my story time. There'll be more to come, and also other varieties of videos, so just, if you want to stick around for those, like and subscribe, and yeah, I don't know. Stay cool, guys.